conspiracy. Harry was the mastermind behind US Capitol Hill riots as he slipped up informations. Prince Harry has claimed he warned Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, about the US Capitol Hill riots the day before they happened. Speaking to Wired, the prince said, "I warned Jack that a coup was being staged on the day before, Jan 5, and I haven't heard from him since." The Capitol Hill riot saw far-right activists violently storm the U.S. Capitol building on January 6. The riot was reported to have gained traction on social media, leading to Twitter to do a mass purge of accounts the following day, including the suspension of Donald Trump's account. The Conversation with Wired, which saw Harry discuss the perils of misinformation on the internet, was part of their Rewired event. The event saw high-profile figures discuss how to build a better future. Harry said, "Misinformation is a global humanitarian crisis. I lost my mother to this self-manufactured rabidness." However, he said that the issue is mainly caused by a small number of accounts causing the issues. He said, "More than 70% of the hate speech about my wife on Twitter can be traced to 50 accounts. This comes after data analysis firm Bot Sentinel investigated the source of online hatred aimed at the Duchess of Sussex, finding that 70% of the original hate content came from just 55 Twitter accounts." Speaking about the riots in January, the BBC's disinformation specialist, Mariana Spring, said that the riots could be traced back to Twitter. She said, "President Trump, on his own Twitter feed, amplified and suggested that this election was going to be rigged, that there was going to be fraudulent voting." After the election, she said she saw lots of Facebook groups appear using the term "Stop the Steal," echoing Trump's own language. Even after many of the groups were removed from Twitter and Facebook, according to Ms. Spring, the threats continued. She said, "When the roots of these conspiracies are so deep, it comes as little surprise that the threats continued, the disinformation continued. A lot of people who attended Capitol Hill felt so passionate about this, and really genuinely believed these false claims spreading online about voter fraud." Earlier today, Meghan Markle launched her own attack on social media channels when she spoke at a New York Times event. She said that the introduction of a dislike button would lead to fewer negative comments. Her husband Prince Harry, meanwhile, warned Twitter co-founder and CEO Jack Dorsey the day before January 6 that he was allowing a coup to be staged on his platform, believes that literally everyone around the world is being affected by internet disinformation, and said that Megxit is a misogynistic term. Welcome to the impactful world of the former royals, who served up a double whammy of unimpeachable influencing Tuesday afternoon, appearing at two different online panel discussions just 2 hours apart. Meghan was speaking as a guest at Andrew Ross Sorkin's DealBook Online Summit, appearing on a panel discussion entitled "Minding the Gap" with Melody Hobson, co-CEO and president of Ariel Investments. The discussion was focused on how women can reach economic and professional parity. An important part of the equation is parental leave, and Meghan discussed the phone calls she made lobbying 2 senators last week to vote for the introduction of the measure. "What?" Sorkin asked her. do people make of it when they pick up the phone to a person announcing themselves as the Duchess of Sussex? They are pretty surprised, said Meghan, adding, "It's so funny because they are not planned calls. I just get the phone number, call, and have a conversation." Sorkin asked if she had any anxiety about getting involved in politics. Like a true politician, Meghan dodged the question. "I don't see this as a political issue. There is certainly a precedent amongst my husband's family, and the royal family, of not having any involvement in politics. But paid leave, from my standpoint, is just a humanitarian issue." The conversation inevitably made its way to the evils of social media. People were, Meghan said, becoming indoctrinated, becoming conditioned to be cruel, and that the problem that had been made worse by lockdown as people had so much time on their hands to scroll, read and like